Okay, welcome back, Ridgewood. It is Monday, March 23rd, and this is our second interview in our faculty interview segments that we're trying to do. We are joined today by Mrs. McGovern, who is a guidance counselor at Ridgewood High School. Mrs. McGovern, welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Mrs. McGovern. How are you?
We are hanging in there. All is well here in the McGovern household.
Excellent. So we just want to start off just to ask you a little bit about who you are. First, let's start with what you do at Ridgewood High School.
Okay. So this is my first year, as all of you know, at Ridgewood High School. Not my first year in guidance, but my first year here. I'm a school counselor with a wonderful staff, and I've had the best experience so far. This by far is the strangest experience I've had as a counselor, but I am more than happy to be working here with an amazing staff and more than amazing students.
So, Mrs. McGovern, what have you liked most about Ridgewood High School in your first 7 or 8 months here?
Okay. Honestly, the students. You all have been so welcoming, so accepting, patient, and just have made the transition for me just amazing, wonderful, and they have truly proven. Ridgewood has a wonderful reputation, and the students, it's all about them, and then it's just been great.
So you mentioned before that this isn't your first go around in guidance. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of your experience in guidance and what you've been doing before coming to RHS?
Sure. I started about almost 20 years ago now. Yes, I started when I was 2. 20 years ago at Northern Highlands, and was there for a few years before I had my 2 children. After I had them, I was home with them for a little bit, and then started at Immaculate Heart Academy, where I worked as a counselor and the learning consultant, working with all the special ed students. And then from there, I was hired as director of guidance at DePaul Catholic High School, and was there for 4 years, and then made my transition to Ridgewood.
Mrs. McGovern, I've heard some rumors that you are a former collegiate athlete. Is that true?
That is absolutely true. Funny you should say that, because if you looked at me now, you'd never know I was a D1 athlete in college. So when I was in high school, I was a cheerleader. Never had any intention of ever being the athlete. And when I went to college, I went to Marist College for my undergrad, and it was like maybe the first week of school, and everybody was like, "Hey, we're going to the crew meeting. We're going to the crew meeting. Do you want to go?" I thought, all right, everybody's going. I might as well go. I had no idea what that meant. And little did I know that meant getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go on icy water and a workout that kicked my butt pretty much every day, but I loved it immensely. So I rode for the women's lightweight 8, the women's lightweight 4, and then I also was the coxswain for the men's 8 as well for 4 years. Traveled all over the country, and now I'm very, very lucky. My son is following in my footsteps, although doing it on the high school level. So it's really been exciting to get back on the water again.
So, Mrs. McGovern, you mentioned before that this is an unusual situation, one that you've never been in professionally. How are you feeling the current situation personally as well? Just how are you mentioned your kids and things like that. So, how's the situation going for you personally?
All right. So we here, you all know, if anybody knows me well enough, I say to you all the time, math is not my strong point. So high school math is kicking my butt. I'm pretty much maxed out about 5th grade. So I'm letting them take the lead on that. But we all sit around in the dining room and have a regular school day. We have lunch. I'm having my children do hang out so they can have lunch with their friends, because I am truly cognizant of the lack of interaction with your classmates. I understand how hard this is. And then about 3 o'clock or so, we do get outside. Not today because it's raining, but I do try to get out and just take a little walk and get some fresh air. We've been doing some yoga and meditation just to relax and keep the stress out of the house. And all my students who come in my office know the diffuser's going all day long in the house with some On Guard and some relaxing oils to just kind of keep the stress level down. But as I've been posting to all of you every day, I need you to take that deep breath every day. I need you to get yourselves outside and move your bodies, not just exercising your minds, because I think that that's what's going to get us through. And things like this, social media for good, and keeping in contact with each other. You know, FaceTime your grandparents since you can't see them. We've been doing that every day. I've been connecting with my aunt and uncle who live a little South Jersey, and connecting with my parents who are only a mile away, but I can't see them. So that's kind of what we've been doing so far.
Great advice, Mrs. McGovern. Okay, you're now about to enter the lightning round of our interview.
Okay, I'm ready.
Couple quick, yeah, we got to find some theme music. That's Mr. Fabic.
I'll work on that.
Thank you. So a few quick questions, and then we'll wrap up our interview here. All right. College that you attended.
I have 3: Marist for undergrad, William Patterson, and Seton Hall.
Favorite food.
Pizza.
Person you look up to the most and why.
I have many, but I would say my very first boss in education, Dennis Cohen, he has passed away since, but he hired me on a whim to be an aide in a private special ed school. And I didn't know anything, right? And he hired me, and he encouraged me to go back and get my special ed certification, and he sponsored that for me. And I worked through him, and he, no matter whatever happens in my lifetime, it's something always goes back to my experience at that high school. And so for me, he will always be my greatest mentor.
Coolest place you've ever traveled to?
Wyoming. Went horseback riding in Wyoming. It was pretty impressive.
Favorite sports team?
New York Yankees.
Good answer. Favorite television show?
Wow. Friends.
And last but not least, what's a Maroon?
My gosh, I wish I knew. I know that Mr. Fab is dressed up as one for Halloween. I don't quite know.
So whatever he is, Maroon is.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. Mrs. McGovern, thank you for doing this. How can your kids or any kid reach you in the next few weeks here? What's the best way?
Sure. I'm on email all day long. So that is the best way. I've been sending you all a post every morning through my Google Classroom. And I am available to Zoom if you need to, or Google Hangouts, or however. But email to get started, I think, is the best way.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Mrs. McGovern. We really appreciate it.
Everybody take care. I'm thinking of all of you. I miss you terribly.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Okay. Take care.